This is a concept that may help you have a less stressful life, inspired by Ray Dalio's explanation of the debt cycle of an economy. When we seek to improve ourselves, our desired outcome is usually a balanced application of discipline and creativity, resulting in a linear line of growth over time in an upwards direction. But that's not the actual human experience. Usually we find ourselves struggling to get our lives together, then succeeding but falling back onto old habits, trying again, reassessing, getting even better, and then crashing again. This is a cycle we go through over and over again, and it's extremely anxiety-inducing. We have really strong desires to do well, so we apply discipline to our lives and do what we know should be done. But then, unable to stand the control of it any longer, we break down into a time of struggle that often leads to a new discovery that enables us to move even higher the next time. As you do this, you're constantly playing with order and chaos. You're applying order to your life to make things happen that you know should. But then, your natural and equally important need for chaos takes over, and you rebel against your diet, fall into a manic creative phase, go on a spending spree, or do something far worse, either by means of rebellion against your previous self, or maybe by telling yourself that you deserve it, because after all, you've done so well. But the time of chaos comes with a price. So you wake up the next day or week with a hangover or a lot of great ideas, but a broken business structure. And tell yourself that you won't fall prey to that kind of thinking again. You'll be more disciplined next time. But here's the problem with that line of thinking. You need chaos. A straight line moving upwards sounds good in theory, but in reality, that is a life of boredom and frustration. It's hell because there's no space for creativity, surprise, beauty, or exploration in a life like that. And a life of total chaos is a life of hell too, because though it might be bright and exciting, it's so disorganized that the bills don't get paid, the diet makes you miserable, deadlines get missed, and you behave too unpredictably around your friends to maintain relationships. Absolute order or chaos is extremely destructive to the human animal. So we find ourselves moving back and forth between both in what is hopefully an upward trajectory through education, experience, and time. But back to the problem of the original behavior one engages in when trying to improve their life. It's extremely anxiety-inducing. Getting thrown back and forth between different phases of life is very difficult. It's full of stress as self-inflicted setbacks come. We reject our own habits. We get frustrated with the work we're doing, throw it all up in the air, and sometimes go back to rock bottom in frustration to start over. I believe there is another way, and the ideal looks like a smooth wave trending in an upwards direction. We have periods in our life where we're performing at a higher level in some aspects, and periods where we perform at a lower level. And if we can transition more smoothly between the two, I believe this can result in a much higher quality of life. We all need to take on behaviors that sometimes lower certain aspects of our performance, and that's okay. But being thrown off by it is where the real damage comes from, not the lowering in performance itself. The way to not be thrown off is through awareness, anticipation, and life, inspired by Ray Dalio's explanation of the debt cycle of an economy. When we seek to improve ourselves, our desired outcome is usually a balanced application of discipline and creativity, resulting in a linear line of growth over time in an upwards direction. But that's not the actual human experience.